Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sonic Adventure 2 on the SEGA Dreamcast. I'm One Wild Sheep yet again, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to revisit some of our earlier levels before we move on to the final story in order to pick up a couple of power-ups that we have missed along the way, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the world map. As you can easily tell, you can choose missions and you can choose levels you've been to previously. Right from the get-go now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be moving on into this point of City Escape Zone, and the moments we get the firing and the bounce bracelet, this is the only time we'll be able to get this power-up. It's kind of surprisingly well hidden for what it is. Basically, this is the Magic Gloves power. This is a Sonic exclusive power that will allow Sonic, our blue friend, to go up to enemies and turn them into big bouncy balls, as you can see by here. It's yeah, it's a thing. I have nothing else to say about it. It's a thing. And now, returning to Wild Canyon Zone, we are back with Knuckles the Echidna yet again. And now that we have the Ding Shovel Claw thing, we can actually go up to this point in the map to gain Knuckles' Mystic Melody, which obviously you've seen the Mystic Melody now in this playthrough. I've used it twice, I think. But yeah, Knuckles' version of it is right by here. So yay! I shall find all the lost pieces of the Master Emerald. Right at the end of Tails' prison lane zone, we are going to be going up to right by the gold ring. But if you go straight past the gold ring and you have the Vulcan cannon, you can destroy those iron crates in the way. Destroy the bandits, and la-di-da-di-da, we get the laser blaster power-up, which it blows things up. I like it. It's cool. And returning back to Hidden Base as well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to this point almost because we're about to get Tails' new power, the Mystic Melody for Tails as well. Actually, my brain completely froze then. I couldn't remember. What am I getting in the stage? Meh. Yeah, we're getting Mystic Melody for Tails, which it works like always. Push the button next to the thingy, and the thingy opens. La-di-da-di-da. Now, if we go through Radical Highway as Shadow, we can actually get Shadow's Fire Ring as well, just like Sonic's one. For some reason, this is an optional power for Shadow, and I have no idea why this is optional for him. But right at the very get-go, around by the first spring, just move to the left-hand side instead of the right-hand side. And it will just be sitting there in the glowing goodness that is on the floor. I'll tell you that much. Yes. Oh god, why do I have to even talk about Rouge? Ugh. Anyway, for Rouge, you just need a diggy thing, just like with Knuckles, and just move over to this painting, and it's inside here yet again. Are you seeing a pattern with a couple of these? But yeah, just go inside here and pick it up, and whoop-de-doo. It's another Mystic Melody. I have nothing else to say. Chaos Control! Now, the security hole one for Rouge is actually a little bit more involved. We need to move over to this side of the hole itself, which is basically the far right from when you start off. And you need Mystic Melody and the Iron Crate Boots thing in order to get in here. So use the Mystic Melody to make the platforms appear, then use your Iron Boots to break open the crates, and then we get a Scouter!
It's over 9,000!
No, not that kind of Scouter. I wish it was. Now, this works just like Knuckles' sunglasses. We can see things in the environment. It's pretty neat. Not really useful, but neat. Much like with Tails, if we go back to Eggman's first level as well, we have access to these set by here of iron crates that we can blow up, and this will give us Eggman's equivalent of the laser blaster. Same sort of deal, blows things up, whoop-de-doo. And now in Sand Ocean Zone, ladies and gentlemen, right from the get-go, if we move forward a little bit. Well, I think this isn't right from the get-go, I can't remember how far on the stage this is, but basically there's a moving platform, and if you use your hover pack from the left of that moving platform, you'll be able to go over here to get now Eggman's Mystic Melody. What even is this thing? It looks like some sort of magical flute or something, I have no idea. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Skips half the level, so I can dig it. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. So it's time to tackle the main plot of the game.
The ultimate life form.
Chaos
Vengeance.
Space
Desperation.
Supersonic.
Collision.
Untamed power. Chaos Emerald.
Professor Gerald, the truth about 50 years ago.
Everything.
Sonic Adventure 2. Last episode. Wishes are eternal.
What's going on? Why doesn't the cannon fire?
Did you pay the bill?
What's happening here? It's my grandfather, Gerald Robotnik.
What's that? That vibration?
Hey, wait. Someone is coming.
You haven't given up yet?
It's all over for us.
What do you mean?
I just received a message from my boss. This space colony arc is currently approaching the Earth at an incredible velocity. It probably will impact Earth.
What's that on the screen?
This is a death sentence for every human being on Earth. If my calculations are correct, the space colony arc will impact the Earth in 27 minutes and 53 seconds.
If your calculations are correct? So you're telling me there's a chance?
All of you will be destroyed, along with your beloved planet Earth.
I plan to give you a taste of my revenge once all the 7 Chaos Emeralds are collected. Once I initiate this program, it cannot be disabled. All of you ungrateful humans who took everything away from me will feel my loss and despair.
Is there anything else you want to say?
No. Ready!
What's going on here? Who is that?
I plan to give you a taste of my revenge.
The vibration's getting
once all
worse.
this-
Professor Gerald Robotnik, one of the greatest scientific minds in the world, and my grandfather.
What? I knew you were behind all this. Stop it right now, or else...
I'd have done this a long time ago if I had the chance.
What do you mean?
You're pretty persistent for a hedgehog, aren't you? You're still alive.
Just letting Knuckles pilot the shuttle on the way over here was more dangerous than you could ever be.
What is this?
This is my grandfather's diary.
I don't quite know what happened or what went wrong. Was it a mistake to create the ultimate life form? I thought it would be something that would benefit mankind, but then the military guards landed on the colony that day. They were sent to destroy the research project that I had been working on. My colleagues at the research facility, my granddaughter, Maria, I hope you are all safe. The colony was completely shut down, probably to keep the prototype from falling into the wrong hands.
The Ark was shut down under the premise that there had been an accident. I found Maria's name among those who died when the Ark was shut down. She meant everything to me, and I couldn't bear the thought that she died because of my research. I lost everything. I had nothing more to live for. I went insane. All I could think about was to avenge her. Somehow, some way. I got scared as I no longer was able to control my thoughts. All I could think about was that I wanted it all to be. Based on my original projections, I was able to complete my project, Shadow. I designed its mind to be perfect, pure. I will leave everything to him. If you wish, release and awaken it.
If you
to
wish
the world.
to fill the world with destruction... Oh, so that's why you released Shadow from the base.
The core of the Eclipse Cannon is now highly reactive and explosive. The Chaos Emerald is overpowered. If the colony collides with Earth, it will shatter into pieces like my grandfather did. That mad scientist.
That should be you, right? We have to stop the space colony now!
The space colony composition may have shifted due to the amount of energy given off by the emeralds. We have to stop the energy.
But how?
That's it. There is a way to stop the energy. We have to use your emerald. You're the one that told me that the Master Emerald has the power to stop the Chaos Emerald.
That's right. If I use this, I just might be able to stop the Chaos Emerald.
The reaction of the Chaos Emeralds is moving toward the cannon's core! It may be too late!
There still may be some time left. If we pull together, we might be able to get to the shortcut that leads to the core.
No worries. Just leave it to me. I'm the world's fastest hedgehog.
Then, let's get to work!
Oh damn, there's a hell of a tonal shift right at the end of the game. It's just like everything's hitting the fan all at once. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Cannon's Core, the final zone of Sonic Adventure 2. And of course, without a doubt, the hardest level in the entire game. And this stage is quite unique in comparison to the other stages of the game, because as opposed to just playing as one character throughout the whole thing, we are actually going to be switching between all of the characters that we've been playing throughout the game. Like for instance now, we're currently playing as Tails. The next time we play, we'll end up playing as Eggman, and each character has their own unique basic segments to take advantage of their own abilities and what have you. For example, Tails is a straight up mech level. You blow everything up in your sight, and you basically try not to die, you know, ladies and gentlemen. A big gimmick that is in this zone, however, are these time switches. You shoot the time switches using your mech, and time will temporarily slow down for you, which will allow you to progress further without getting hit by laser beams, or without getting hit by these god-awful bloody chaos mooks, you know, ladies and gentlemen. And these time switches, they're prevalent in every segment of the zone as well. It's not just the shooter segments that have it. You have time switches in every aspect. So you have Sonic using time switches, you have Knuckles using time switches, etc, etc, etc. And our main goal throughout this zone is to go up to each of these security doors and either A, destroy them, or find a specific switch in order to open them up in order to progress further on and actually beat the stage. Now the stage does get harder and harder and harder the further through it you get, because obviously it is the final stage, you know, and if the difficulty stayed static, it would be a pretty boring final stage, because the first segment, anybody can probably beat the first segment. But it's around this point onwards where the stage does get a little bit tricky, and there's one segment in particular, Knuckles, where if you don't have certain power-ups, then the stage is not impossible, but you would swear to God that it is impossible. And I have no idea how I beat this stage as a kid when I was a kid, because Jesus Christ, this segment. I'll talk about that when I get to it though. Although the main issue with Tails is gameplay for this zone is basically getting you into the general gist of things, but when you get into the stage as Eggman himself, you are going to have to get used to these platforming puzzles. You need to use these switches at the right time to utilize these blocks in order to platform your way across to the other end of the level. And one thing that's kind of neat as well is the artificial chaoses, they will actually be hurt by your normal energy blast whenever time is frozen, which is kind of neat, because normally when you shoot an artificial chaos with a basic energy blast, if their head isn't showing, your energy blast will just bounce harmlessly off them. It'll just boop them and just go flying off into the stratosphere or something. That doesn't happen now. Now, whenever we get hit by the, whatchamacallit? I know, I'm good with words here. But now whenever we hit the thingy, when the artificial chaos, when the time runs out, we'll be able to inflict damage still and still be able to hurt it. So, I would advise just taking advantage of the time slowdowns as much as possible. And plus, you do need to be careful in segments like this where you need the time slowdown in order to even basically be able to progress further on, just due to the nature of how quick the platforms move. It's damn near impossible to land on it when it's moving without what's the word I'm looking for? I'm thinking of a word, but it's not coming to my mind. Without time being stopped, you know, ladies and gentlemen. And you know, this stage is still pretty fun. It's kind of tricky when you're going through the Eggman segment, just because the Eggman segment does involve a lot of timing, and I always find this last room to be a little bit finicky, because I always have the timing of the switch that you need to press a little bit off. Sometimes I push the switch a bit too early, a bit too late, and it just screws up my entire momentum, and it messes me up good, to tell you that much. For example, what you see with that? One sort of thing I do recommend you might actually be able to do, though, is you may actually be able to jump from the side platforms and jump on one of the boxes moving upwards if you really want. But I think there might be lasers on the side of the wall, so you might need to be careful of that, but I digress. Anyway, time to take control of Rouge the Bat, and as you can tell, there's a force field and a switch in the grand center of the room. Now, Rouge, arguably, has the easiest segment out of the lot with this. Well, one of the easiest segments, because all we really need to do for the most part is climb up to the very top of these towers. It's pretty linear which way you go. You just basically go up to the tower that's obvious you can climb up to next. And hit the switch. This will open up a passageway, which will allow us to progress on further on without getting stuck in the ocean. Well, it's not really an ocean. Stuck in the coolant fluid of the space colony R, because I think that's what it is. And really, you just need to make use of the time switches, which... You just need to make use of the time switches to get through each of these hallways and stuff. But it's kind of finicky, because, I don't know, I think it's due to the way the time switches are designed that you need to be pretty precise in moving in order to actually hit the time switch properly, because it's... I don't know, maybe the collision detection's a bit off, or it's just not sensitive enough or something. I don't know, I always just find myself getting a little bit annoyed because I'm trying to use the time switches, but suddenly, you didn't hit me hard enough. I'm like, oh, well, okay, screw you, game. Me. Yeah. But anyway, after hitting the switch all the way on this side of the room, the main switch itself that opens up the security door for Rouge will be unveiled, which allows us to basically progress on further. I'm good with words. And yeah, you need to make use of the springs as well to get out of here in time, otherwise the waterfall will block your actual exit, which is a bit of a nuisance, I'll tell you that much. I tell you that much indeed. Yes, let's flood the space colony with coolant. That's gonna help. Now, this sequence by here is an underwater level, ladies and gentlemen, and we have to make use of Knuckles' swimming ability alongside his air necklace. If you do not have this air necklace of Knuckles, the stage isn't hard. Well, it is extremely hard, but the stage isn't impossible. But the stage is designed for you, it expects you to have the air necklace. And there are air bubbles under the water where you can actually pick up extra air if you need it. But the thing is, just due to how this level's designed, just due to the nature of the swimming controls, it is an absolute pain in the arse to be able to get those air bubbles, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can probably tell, the screen looks puke. Or, actually not so much puke, it looks piss-coloured. Yeah, piss-coloured, I'll go with that. And the big problem with this is, on my TV screen, you will actually be on it. I couldn't see anything in this stage. I couldn't see any lasers. I was actually going through muscle memory for most of this, ladies and gentlemen. And you're probably going to see me dying a little bit. And I swear to God, the death isn't my own fault. I actually couldn't see, because in this room there's lasers. Yeah, you see how hard they are to see here? those lasers on my TV screen are the exact same color as the water, so it was, needless to say, it was a little bit difficult in order to navigate this little maze. Plus, depth perception here is a little bit of a bitch in the first place anyway, because we need to slowly dip down, hit the switch in order to move on back to this area, which will allow us to progress further. If we fail, well, that happens, and that's no good. So, yeah, basically hit the switch and move on. Wait, I didn't die? I thought I died in this section. Did I? Oh, I must have edited it out. Never mind. Ignore me. I didn't die. Yes. I totally did that without failure. I say as I give the shifty eyes. But anyway, now it's time for the main final sequence. This time to play as Sonic the Hedgehog himself, and right from the get-go move forward. If you stand forward, then you will automatically grab that time switch, which will give us a nice easy homing attack chain, and the enemy will just about miss us, which is a bit annoying, because if you don't move forward at the very start, I guess you could consider that a cheap hit, because the enemy sort of attacks you prematurely before you are even able to react. So it's kind of lucky I knew about that, to tell you that much. By the way, I have to say, I love the soundtrack of Cannon's Core. It's such a good musical track. It's so good. It does get you pumped. It does feel like end game final stage stuff, you know, ladies and gentlemen, which I do like. But now we're at the final sequence by here, and jump over. This is a dick move that I do not like the fact this game does. Basically, if I didn't jump over that pit, I would have died, ladies and gentlemen. So, yeah, it's a bit of a dick move. The game gives you no warning that you're gonna die, so just be careful of that. The only warning is sort of like the camera. But I like this. This is like a callback to Sonic Adventure 1, and I'm just like, ooh, continuity in my video game franchise. Ooh, I can dig it a lot. It's fantastic, I tell you that much. Anyway, with that is it for this part, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people. And I'll catch you all next time as we tackle the final part of the playthrough. Excluding the bonus part, so the final boss, really, because we got 2 parts left, and the next part's the boss. The part after is me going on about useless stuff like hidden levels and chow. But I digress. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people. I'll catch you all next time. Bye!